Shifters. First of all, oh, the devil was busy today. Yes, the devil was busy today. Devil did not want me on day 2 with this live with y'all, honey. So let me get, get a little smoke to clear this air. Um, Give me 1 second because I'm going to hold on 1 second. I'm trying to be live on Instagram and okay, I think I'm live on both y'all, Instagram and YouTube. So welcome. This is day 2 of me going live. Um, Let me just make sure we got the screen. Can y'all see me? I'm gonna go to comments. Um, let's see if we can get this ticker going. And I'm trying this on StreamYard, y'all, because StreamYard allows you to be live on multiple platforms. So, I got to get this lip gloss going. But I'm wanting to try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay. Um, I got my hair washed today, y'all. Can y'all see? Yes, I'm loving the faux bohemian, whatever you want to call it. So we gonna get into it. Oh, let me get my timer started. Because my goal 21 days for 21 minutes. I know y'all like what is she doing on here? So 21 days for 21 minutes. I am going to be talking about let me get my notes together because I'm not doing this by my lonely. Day 2 is burnout, the hidden cost of the hustle culture, and your circle is your mirror. Your circle is your mirror. Who's holding you back? So I'm going to touch on both of those topics today, tell a little couple of examples and stories related to my own experiences, and hope that you guys chime in. So let me see here. Just want to make sure that my comments are available. And hold on 1 second, y'all. Because your girl is trying to be, I'm trying to multitask this thing, okay? Let's see. So one of the things, if you're following me, I shared today that I am in the midst of reading The Artist's Way. Can y'all see that? By Julia Cameron. A spiritual path to higher creativity. And one of the things that the book encourages is for you to do what's called morning pages. So if you follow my story today, you saw that I talked about morning pages. I posted that I started it on, I believe it was March 9th. So I'm on day 25 of literally setting my time when I get up an additional 30 minutes. So for example, I don't necessarily get up at the same time every day. I'm just going to be totally honest. Some days I get up at 6:30. Some days I get up at 7:30. It just depends on what I have going on, what's on my calendar for today. Like if I have meetings right away in the morning, or if I'm going to work out, going to Pilates, things of that nature. So I've been, for the last 25 days since March 9th, I have been setting my alarm for an additional 30 minutes early. Because what the book asks you to do is to set a timer for 30 minutes, and then as soon as you wake up to free write. So I've been doing that for 25 days, and I will have to look back. I'm gonna have to, maybe I'll put it in the message when I do the note about at what day I decided to do the 21 days for 21 minutes of going live, because that came to me in my writing. And one of the things that the writing does is that it allows you to not only kind of be in the present moment, but also kind of think about future, your desires of your heart, what you have going on. And it brings to light a lot of things. So I'm not going to tell y'all too much because y'all really going to have to get that book and do that work, which is what we talk about often, as therapists, as clinicians, as, professionals, mentors, coaches, consultants, whatever you want to say. They're always going to be encouraging you to do the work. And in addition to helping people do the work, I also have to do the work myself, y'all. So here we are. So today, our first topic is burnout, the hidden costs of the hustle culture. And so causes of the hustle culture can be overworking. Who does that? Lack of boundaries and neglecting self-care. So when we speak to overworking, that is, signing up for more than you need to be doing. And I talked a little bit about that on day one about being able to delegate. So when we talk about overworking, one of the things that you will need to do is to make sure that you're not doing that, right? And what does that look like? Well, instead of having 12 things on your to-do list that you're trying to tackle all in one day, you want to look at your to-do list and be like, okay, I maybe can do 3 or 4 of these things. Let's say there's 10 or 12 things on the list. I can do 3 or 4 of these things today, and then I can do, a couple of these other things tomorrow. So not being afraid to, move the needle and move things over to the next day or to the next week, depending on what it is. Overworking is really a sign that you have not delegated appropriately. Does that make sense? I hope so. So, a lack of boundaries is also a way that leads to burnout. And a lack of boundaries just means that you have not perfected saying no, right? And no is a complete sentence, period, exclamation mark. Like you don't got to go into a whole lot. It's just what it is. And once you get in the practice of setting that boundary, then other boundaries will just kind of continuously come into play, and you'll be able to do that on a regular basis. And then neglecting self-care. So y'all see me, y'all see my stories, y'all see that I'm always going to make sure that I'm scheduling time to do something for me. So like today, I kind of cleared my schedule. I had some stuff this afternoon, but this morning I went to get my hair done because that was when that person was available, and that's when I was able to do that. And when I say get it done, I really just got to wash and condition and kind of a retie because I'm getting ready to take another trip. So I just wanted to freshen it up a little bit, and my hair was a little itchy from when I initially got it done. So 3 ways to prevent burnout. Y'all ready? Y'all got your pen and paper? I'm gonna give y'all a little second, honey, because we got to, and then we're gonna go on to the next thing as well. So I share with you burnout and the causes of burnout, 3 ways to prevent burnout. The first one is to schedule non-negotiable rest days. What does that mean? That means I'm going to say, let's start with once a month. You set aside a day where you don't do anything. And let me tell you, it's hard. My daughter and I were talking about this just yesterday about how when you're so used to kind of moving and hustling and doing this and doing that and taking care of this and going to work and all the things, that it really is a challenge to just sit still. So your first note is to schedule non-negotiable rest days, and that means you just can't do nothing. Like, and when I tell y'all, this is a real struggle for me. Like, and I'll even call my daughter and be like, I feel so bad. Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, literally, I be saying that, like, I'm not doing anything. But guess what? Whatever those things are that need to be done will wait until later or the next day or whenever it is. So that is going to be a non-negotiable rest day that I need you guys to set into your calendar. Also, put in the comments when you're going to schedule your rest day. Today is April 2nd. So I'm looking forward to know in the next 30 days. How many days in April? Hold on. It's 30 days in April. I'm going to need y'all to put in the comments when you're going to schedule your non-negotiable rest day and do absolutely nothing. So let me know that. So that's number one. Hey, thanks for joining. Number two, learn to say no to misaligned opportunities. That's a big one. And when I think about a misaligned opportunity, it's kind of something that, let's say, for example, you set up a meeting with someone to discuss, an opportunity or, to plan something, and you have to reschedule. And then that reschedule doesn't work out. To me, that is a misaligned opportunity. And then you have to decide, okay, if this is something I really wanted, like, oh, it was bad timing, maybe the person got sick, right? And you reschedule. Two things. One, you have to give yourself a limit, like, okay, am I going to allow this person grace 2 times or 3 times before I decide, I'm not going to keep rescheduling, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is really making sure that this is something that you want to do, right? So we can give people grace, and if we have to reschedule, maybe somebody got sick, something happened, work overload, whatever. But if after that second or third time and it still doesn't work out, that is a misaligned opportunity, and that means that wasn't what it was supposed to be. And if it was, it's going to come back around. So then you don't have to worry about it and you give it to God. Yes, I said the Lord. Yes. And then the next way to prevent burnout is to fuel your body. Good food, movement, and sleep matter, right? So I'm going to post this on the board. I hope everybody can see that. So I talked about scheduling non-negotiable days, learning to say no to misaligned opportunities, and to fuel your body. Food, movement, and sleep matter. What does that mean? We hear my friend talk about eating at home, right? Cooking your own food. Like, that is a huge component of being fueled, right? With your own nutrients, with your own, because you know what you're putting in, you know where you got it from, you know if it's organic or not, right? Movement, making sure that you are participating in some type of activity, whether that be, going to the gym, walking, riding a bike, doing Peloton. Like, that's one of the things I do. I do Pilates. I have talked about joining a membership at either, like a Lifetime or some gym. I know, there's a lot of, different pieces that go along with that. But for me, I know one of the things that I want to do is get into weight training, because at my age, they're saying that weight is one of the things that I need to be focused on. So I really want to get into some weight training. So that's going to be a part of my movement, is figuring out, and I'll let y'all know when where I signed up, and what I'm gonna end up doing with that. And then sleep. Now let me just tell y'all, your girl, I'm gonna get my 8 hours in. I'm gonna get 8 or 10 if the Lord allows. But definitely going to get 8. So you want to make sure that you're fueling your body with good food, movement, and sleep really matters. So make sure you guys take note of that. And that is my message to you on burnout, the hidden cost of the hustle culture. My next point that I want to make to you is about your circle is your mirror, and who's holding you back. So, let me just make sure I got the right information for the circle. Give me 1 second. So, a couple of things. I'm just going to make a couple points on this, because sometimes I think that there's this old saying that goes around that the people you spend the 5 people, I said 10, the 5 people that you spend the most time with, you're most alike, or something along those lines, that little quote says. And one of the things that I have been able to see is based on, the people that you spend time with. That is really a true I don't know, message, note that people should pay attention to. So one of the things I'm going to ask you is to take a look at your circle. People that you're spending time with, hanging out with, going to dinner with, or going to events with. Are they at a level where you're like, oh, this is something that I aspire to be, or this is something that I look up to, or I like the things that they're doing? Do they motivate you? Do they encourage you? The people around you should either push you forward, or they're going to be pulling you back. Excuse me. So keep that in mind when you're choosing, the people that you're spending around. Are they encouraging? Are they motivating? Do they know how to have a good time? Are they pouring into you? And then are you also doing the same thing? Are you pouring into them? Are you able to have a good time? Are you able to, have good conversation around business, and be motivating and things of that nature? A second note on your circle being your mirror is energy is contagious, and you need to protect your space. People who know me know that I will spend time peopling. And then I'll be like, hey, I gotta take a break. Like, I need a minute. And that's just because, for me, who I am as a Pisces sun, Aquarius moon, Pisces rising, I am able to pick up on people's energy, and that can be a good or a bad thing. So for me, I have to be really mindful, and I also have to allow myself space and time. So one of the things over the last few years that I've really been very intentional about, very like using my throat chakra to express to people, like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do that. Like, I really need some time for myself. And I think in the past, I probably wasn't able to do that. So people would think like, oh, she's acting funny, or she doesn't want to be around. But I really do have to, because this is me. This is Clarindria. This is Monique. Like, I have to allow myself that space and time so that I can kind of, I guess you could say, re-energize myself to be able to kind of like go out and be in community, and and pour into people and give to people. So, um, I saw one post where somebody was like, "Oh, the Pisces, they came outside and now they're back in," and that is really a true thing. So, if you have a Pisces in your life, if you spend time with the Pisces, you know that there are some times when we kind of retreat. Has nothing to do with a person individually. It really has to do with how much we are energetically connected to universe, and how sometimes we just got to pull back and like give ourselves a minute. So know that energy is contagious, and sometimes you have to protect your space. So for example, if you go somewhere and you walk into a room and you're like, "Ooh, I don't know," that's your energy telling you like, "I don't know if this is the place for me," and you have to be okay with removing yourself from those situations. And then the third thing, I'm going to add this up so you guys can see it and make sure you take note. The third thing is to surround yourself with people who align with your growth, not your past. And sometimes that can be a really challenging thing, right? Because we want to hold on to what we know. We want to be connected to, like those past memories and those past experiences. And sometimes you can, and then there are times when you can't, because everybody is not going to grow at the same level that you are. Or they might be, exceeding you in growth as well. So it's okay to remove yourself from, people or situations that you feel like, I don't know if that's something I jive with anymore, or that's not really what I'm trying to do. It's okay to kind of remove yourself from those situations. And then um align with growth, not your past, is the point that I wanted to make with that. And then for people that are in your past, that also doesn't mean that they can't necessarily come back around. And you have to, as we're talking about setting boundaries and where you are and being able to, speak up for yourself. Maybe, somebody that you had lost connection with before, you're able to kind of come back around and reignite those relationships and those friendships. It just depends on kind of where both people are, because people move in growth at different levels. I hope that makes sense. I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you to like, subscribe, share, also make a comment. Tell me how what's holding you back, which is our ticker for day 2 of 21 days. We're on day 2, y'all, of this live. To do your ticker. I'm sorry, to do your note about what's holding you back in the comments. And then let's see, what else did I have? Let me come out of there. And let's see, what do I want to have you guys do? I want you to tag a fellow entrepreneur. Can you do that for me? Remember, the shift is happening now.